watching us from today. I'm coming to you guys from the outside, the backyard of my house. You might hear somebody mowing their lawn. It might be a little bit busy and noisy, but at the end of the day, I hope you can still be able to hear. And today, it's such a privilege and such an honor to be joined by a very, very dear friend of mine, Ray, which is a privilege to talk a little bit about her in a minute. But if you're new here, I'll begin just shortly by introducing myself. So, my name is Claire. I am a registered nutritionist. And if you're new here, you might not know this, but we have been on a challenge. We are doing 30 days of intermittent fasting challenge. And so today is day 15. I can't even count 10, 5, 15. And we are halfway of the challenge. And that's the reason why Ray is with me today, because we have been on this journey together, and she's just been sharing with me her transformation. And I don't want to speak about it yet because she's here to speak for herself. So if you like, good evening, my dear friend.
Good evening. Nice to join you.
Nice to see you here, Ray. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Ray.
Well, everybody, I think you know my name now. It's Ray.
I know.
I'm 26. I've been doing this intermittent fasting challenge when Claire mentioned it on a YouTube channel. Uh,
Yeah.
so why not give it a go? I was a bit nervous, as in like before my iron levels, and I was thinking, oh no, I don't want to go back to when my irons are low and anemic. But I ensured it like by my nutrition side. When I do eat, it was more like make rich green foods that has enough iron for me to be able to do the fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Apart as well, a little background about me. I've been doing weight loss journey for some time. I'm
Mm-hmm.
big and healthy for myself and because of my height as well. I met place through church. That's how I met today as well and know about
Yeah.
the challenge. So yeah, I can't think about my goal, I guess.
Yeah, wow, beautiful. So, as Ray has mentioned, we actually go to the same church at the moment. So, a couple of weeks back, maybe months, that we met through another common friend of ours at church, and then the rest became like we became good friends. We've been out for a run together, so I came over for a get together in Stafford, and underneath my party clothes I had my running gear kind of in a way. And then we did a bit of a run after that. So when I started the challenge, I didn't even think you were doing the challenge. Did you mention anything about it?
I didn't want to say anything. I wanted to see how I was gonna get on first.
Yeah.
But as, like I watch your videos, but I feel like probably you think, oh, people are just watching. So it's like I wanted also to encourage you to do this video because you might sometimes not think you're not doing anything. You really are helping people that do.
Ah.
So I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, my dear friend, because those are like conversations I've had at home, like with my son sometimes, with my sister, sometimes even with my husband. I usually say, like, I don't know why I'm doing YouTube. I have a full-time job, my hands are full on. Why am I even bothering? Is there anybody who watches? Of course, I tend to have about 100-ish views and things like that. And I'm like, it seems a bit like too much demanding for me. But then when I hear people like you watching and following on this journey with together and kind of in a way talking about your progress, it does really encourage me because I'm like, even if I do it for just one person is enough, because if you have somebody that can have a better health and their life is much more better, that person can tell another person will tell another person will tell another person, and that's how actually change really occurs. So, Ray, if you talk us a little bit through, you've been doing this intermittent fasting. So, what pattern of fasting are you following?
So when you say which part of the
Yeah. So,
fasting,
what is your fasted window, and when do you start
uh,
eating? Like, if you break that down for us a bit.
for me, mainly in the mornings, I will eat, but I don't eat a big breakfast. For example, like when I finish work in my evening, in the morning, I intend to, like, 10 o'clock is where
Mm,
I will have coffee and an apple. And
mm,
then roughly about 12:30 is where I have lunch. From then onwards, I will stop eating as I go to work. So from, just say, from 1 o'clock till the next day,
mm.
I won't eat. In between that as well. No, sorry, I missed the part where I have my smoothie as well. So
Yeah,
I'll go quickly make my smoothie, um, which is more green vegetables than, like, and then the odd one fruit in there.
yeah,
And stop. So just say 3 o'clock, I'll stop eating completely. I'll have my
yeah,
water throughout the day. Sometimes it can be three, depends on how I get with my water.
yeah,
Um, and then I would do it again the same following day. Um, it was hard to start off first because, hey, I work in a restaurant, so you smell food all the time. So you're like,
yeah,
hungry now. I want to
yeah,
eat. But no, I was like, no, I'll be persistent about it. Don't get me wrong, few days it was hard. You don't think
yeah,
it, but as long as you, like, have good water intake, don't
yeah,
obviously do the water, but you feel fuller for some reason because you're like, oh, I can't eat anything, or keep
yeah,
tired, busy. And for me, it was like, oh, how many steps have I done? I've not done enough, so I'll do a job to find something to take my mind off it.
yeah,
So yeah, after those few days going on, I was noted like a few days later. I was like, let me put my trousers on. There's jeans that I couldn't fit in for the time around my birthday actually,
yeah,
and I was like, I'm hoping that I fit. And I managed it. I was like, yeah, I'm making some progress, but I didn't see where I was losing inches. At the time I wasn't on it. I was more focused on my eating habit. Um,
yeah.
as well, like, for chocolate, sweets, things like that. I don't get the days where I was really craving for, like, have one. I wouldn't just completely knock it off.
Mm,
As you need it, you sometimes do need it. We're all human. We can't say
absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
things. So I did that as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Y- I had a little bit of disconnection somewhere because, as I mentioned, there's a bit of noise in my background, but also I think there's internet instability. But you mentioned something that I just want us to go back to. You were mentioning something about you went into a jeans that you're like, I haven't fit in this jeans before. Let me try it on. So take us a little bit about that. So when you tried it on, what happened?
I was able to do my button, and not just my jeans, the top as well. It was like not a corset sort of thing. It was like, jeans are not a very stretchy material. You can
Yeah,
fit it or you don't. That's how it is. So for me to be able to fit in that and actually, it was an achievement. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna carry on. It still felt a bit tight where my stomach was,
yeah.
but I've lost something. I didn't. For me, I don't like to weigh myself
Me
often.
neither. Me neither.
Sometimes causes really unhealthy relationship with yourself and the scale, because, like, oh, I'm not moving, or isn't it? But we're not watching. I'm more of a person who will take pictures of themselves and be like, okay, in 2 weeks' time, let me see if any of my body shape structure has changed. So that's how I weigh myself.
So, do you have any pictures that you can share with us that you just said you take pictures of yourself, how this transformation has occurred for you so far?
I'll just pop it up 1 second.
Yeah, I'm
My
excited.
If I can, um, just bear with me. So these jeans used to fit me quite comfortably.
Yeah,
Uh,
you can't see anything just yet.
just show you now.
Yeah,
Okay. So as you can see over here, can you see
Oh
quite clear?
wow. Yes, yes,
So
yes.
yes, these jeans used to fit me quite comfortably, and
Yeah.
they were nice. But when I was like, oh, I haven't worn this jean in some time, let me put it on, and I honestly could not believe that this is how much I've lost from just doing the fasting. And
Wow.
a lot of people think like, oh, it's unhealthy. It really isn't, because you're eating the calories you need for
Yeah.
your body. You doing the extra workouts. It was a bonus for me. And
Yeah.
then I'll if I can find my next picture.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's really encouraging.
So it
Wow.
really and as well, you see it in yourself, like how you feel. It's
Yeah.
not just about losing weight. You have more energy. You
Yeah.
seem it's for me was I had a lot more energy. Just bear
Yeah.
with me. I'll get the other one if I can.
Yeah.
Just sorry guys.
That's okay. Wow. That was encouraging, Ray.
No, can't for some reason get onto it. Just bear with me. I'll flick it back. Okay, and then this one was the other one, my other jeans.
Mm. Wow.
And I feel more defined where, for me, the struggle was where my belly area was. And like I said, I can see more clearly that I'm defining where the shape I wanted it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was really, really, to be honest, shocked for myself. I knew I felt great in myself, but I didn't know I've lost that much weight in jeans. And this is not the only pair of jeans that don't fit me. So now I've got jeans that are gappy. But I'm waiting like, I'm really excited, and it motivated me more to see, like, okay, what can I do? What I can't wait to see the finished progress. Um, Also,
Yeah.
again, it shows that you don't lose your muscle mass that much as long as you maintain and eat the right sort of food and nutrition. And this is where you come in,
Yeah.
where you can get your source of protein, source of iron. So if you implement it all, you're not gonna lose that. Let's say your desired shape and muscle, as I was worried about. I was like, oh, I don't want to be flat, like, or I want to, and I still have managed to do it. So it just goes to shows the nutrition as well. So yeah,
Yeah, but also there's something else you mentioned because you're saying about I usually say like buying of calories. So for example, what I mean by buying of calories is, for example, if you calculate and know my body needs 2,000 calories just to be normal and not to lose the weight, just to maintain my weight. But then if you want to lose weight, you have definitely to eat less than you need. So like less energy in, but more energy through the many things that you do. So
yeah,
now, if you're fasting, already it means you are kind of, if you're doing intermittent fasting, of course, some people go back to normal eating at the end of the day. But now for you, one thing you're doing is, on top of that, you're also doing exercise. So you mentioned you told me yes, yeah, like you go to the gym as well, which of course you're not just kind of doing aerobics. Aerobics are really amazing and good, but also you can do some strength training, which
yeah.
will help you building of the muscles, so to say, but also the food that you're eating. If you're eating more healthy calories, so you're still eating the calories that you more healthy, you still can end up with, let's say, 1,800 or whatever amount, but it's, I call it substitutionary feeding. So you're not eating, like as you said, you can have a little chocolate here if you like, you can have a little bit those indulgences, but you're doing it in moderation.
Yeah.
But then you're eating more, having your smoothie, having more of like greens and vegetables, which helps in the end, isn't it?
That's what helped me more. Like, I know, for example, if I just say, if I have a Sunday, normally it's like where families make dinners, desserts, pudding. I know I saved my calories throughout the week in
Yeah.
but I don't
Yeah.
go mad. So I'm still aware. I don't. I I think you won't constantly think about calories because it natural. Once you get going, you naturally know. Oh, okay, this certain food has this much. Okay, maybe if I cut it down a bit, I'll have a bit of this and a bit of that. But I'm like I said, I don't. Oh, for example, the weekend is where all my friends are now at carnival or drinking, binging. Again, nothing wrong with that, but I'm more aware of what I want to put in. So if I want
Yeah.
to for myself, it's the amount that I need for my body. So I don't want to overdo it. And
Yeah.
relationship I have now, so it's not something like, oh, it's bad, everything's bad, I can't eat this. No, because then you're making yourself anti-social, and you're just gonna make yourself unhappy.
Yeah. Because again, as you're saying, it's like kind of I love the way the word you used, like a relationship, isn't it? So it's a relationship that you have, for example, with food, or relationship that you have with your friends along food, and not kind of demonizing some food, so to say like I can't eat. I don't eat red meat, I don't drink dairy, but it's not because I'm demonizing it. It's just because for personal reasons I decided and was like, I'm cutting this out of my diet. But if
Yeah,
I come to your house and all that you have is milk, which is dairy, and you offer me a cup of tea with dairy milk, I will still drink it, not necessarily because I don't want it to look to me like it's the evil, is the demon in this whole
yeah,
thing. So it's kind of in a way looking at food like I usually say, is it a friend or is it a foe? If your food is becoming like an enemy to you, when you're eating, you'll have this unhealthy,
yeah.
unbalanced kind of relationship that either food controls you, that if you're hungry, I've always say you're hungry and hungry at the same time, you go, the first thing your pot of call is food. But then if you decide and say, okay, my relationship with food is gonna be a healthy one. I will eat food because I need the food for my survival, and not just engaging in food because necessarily, not necessarily just because the food is there, so I'm gonna just eat for the sake of it. It does really make a
For me, it was more. I would feel guilty after. Then I have to by going gym twice, or just starve myself and then again repeat that process. So it was now to a point where I can have like even when it was the time of the month. This is where I like to eat my chocolate. I like to eat my sweet,
yeah,
and then that but this time around it happened while I was doing my intermittent fasting, and you know what, I haven't had that big craving gap, and if I did have it, like I said, I'll be like, okay, what do I really want, pick one. So like
yeah,
not buy a packet, that's what I've noticed. Buy a
yeah,
one, like if for I love Kit Kat, and I'll buy a
yeah,
packet of Kit I'll buy the packet, I wouldn't single one. So now
yeah,
okay, I'm just gonna buy the single one, and if I eat that one, that's it. It's finished. I won't go back for it. And if I still have craving for that sweet, like I said, I replaced it with more like my smoothie tastes more sweeter, so I add passion fruit on it or something. And I've done fine, and it doesn't even when I come off, I'm not gonna have that unhealthy relationship with food. I will be more aware of what I'm eating and just be more balanced, really.
yeah,
So
yeah. Buying, if you're buying one thing, let's say you're buying a small bar of chocolate, you still have it. Once it's finished, you're not going back into.
no, yeah, exactly.
You don't take yourself into
Yeah,
temptations.
I mean, I live with a lady who loves baking. There's always cake, chocolate. So honestly, and you're thinking, oh, okay, you're not helping it. But once you have that discipline on, like, no,
Yeah,
I don't want it, I don't need it, that's fine. Like, again, if you really want it, just have a little bit of a piece, and then so for example, like if I'm really hungry, I normally will have like a big dinner, like, or big lunch to compromise. When I have that bit of pudding, that's it. I need another
Mm,
pudding to finish my craving of sweets. I'll down it with, and then I'm like,
mm.
okay, I'm full. That's that's what I needed to learn. Like, right, just because there's food there doesn't mean you have to eat it. It's not, you're not hungry. It's okay.
Yeah, because it's one of those things that happens sometimes. Like if you kind of have a wrong relationship with food, and then you go, let's say, to a buffet, and you see all these foods that have been lined up, and you just kind of will be like, all eat all as you can,
Yeah,
going back and back because your body
yeah,
a healthy relationship
yeah,
with food will be
exactly.
like free food, as you're saying. You live with somebody who lives to you, like, no,
Yeah,
I've had enough. I don't want to eat just for
yeah,
the sake
no,
of eating.
absolutely. So yeah,
Realized a lot of people that do fasting, myself included, things are off the food, but yours is a slightly different. So you are kind of eating in the morning. Have you ever?
the other way. Yes, I have actually. The reason I had tried the other way
Yeah,
is been when I had a really busy morning. So I genuinely just don't have time to eat breakfast. The only reason I do it the way I do is purely, again, I live with an older woman, so for her, it's like
yeah,
I guess it's a peace of mind as well. Like um she's more she's like a mother, so when it comes to food and making sure I'm well and everything, she's like, oh, you're working in the garden, you're doing this. So out of peace of mind is like, you know what, let me do it in the morning. Saves the
yeah,
like trying to not argue, but it's just I guess she likes to eat together. So it's like, you know, when I'm at work it'll be different. And it works out well because, again, if I'm doing it um morning, I'll eat something at work where work is like pizza or pasta, where there's no, like, you don't know exactly the calories you're eating, but big
yeah,
calorie that it's like eating a takeaway every day if I eat at work, basically. So to balance it from, and also I can cook at home. I can't cook at, if I want something quick, I can do it at home, not at the restaurant. You're on go, go, go. So you think, oh, a quick pizza will do it for me, and I can go. That quick
mm,
pizza, you've probably 800 calories for nothing,
yeah, yeah,
and you're thinking, oh, I didn't eat all day this morning, but the calories, you're not budging anything. You're just putting more to what you think you are doing.
yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, it doesn't necessarily, when you do the intermittent fasting, it's not because like necessarily if you do the morning is the better than the afternoon. It's just as you're saying, working with something that works best for you. So if the morning works best for you is the morning, and if the afternoon works best for you is the afternoon. And one thing that also you've mentioned that for me was really interesting to hear was the whole,
Yeah,
just as like maybe a pizza, you can do basically 800 calories. If you're having a salad, that would be you can do a fruit salad, maybe some whole bread there. You can add a banana. You'll eat quite a lot, and you still not get to
yes,
800
that's
calories,
one
isn't it?
thing I think people forget. Like, yes, it's all good doing intermittent fasting, but if you're not aware of your calories and what you eat, like, oh, I didn't
Yeah,
eat all day this month. If I didn't eat all day this, and now I'm gonna eat pizza, cake, this, that. You put the calories back in that 1 hour, so you haven't,
yeah,
fasting hasn't really. It's not helping you. You need to
yeah,
basics where okay, I'm not saying count your calories all the time, but as long as you're aware roughly like what you're eating, it's more balanced
Mm.
instead of just thinking, oh, I didn't eat all day this morning, so now it's my window time to eat. But you're eating probably twice as more, and we all forget like four biscuits can just be 500 calories, and you're thinking, okay, I'll finish the rest. That's probably all your calories that are gone just from a biscuit, and then on that you'll eat something else, thinking, no, it's fine because I haven't had anything else after that. So that's
Yeah.
learned about food, and I read more on the packaging on like, okay, if I have one of these, this is how much. But again, it's not something unhealthy man of mine. I do, like
Yeah.
I said, I do put in, if I want chocolate, I will have chocolate, but I know I won't have another one because
Yeah. And it's again going back to that relationship. I mean, exploit that to your relationship, isn't it? And it's that's one of the things that I love about this whole conversation. You're saying when you're looking at the food, you're not looking at it and saying like, okay, I'm reading the calories to make me feel guilty that I'm eating. No, but even if I have, for example, I've saved all my calories for the week, I have a bit more on the weekend because I'm going to. I usually
yeah.
don't know when to stop this that because you can say, well, I've been fasting starving. So you go and start like pizzas, pasta, all those kind of things. If you're eating that every single day, as you're saying, you won't really be able
Mm,
a
yeah.
lot from that in the end.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have another question because I don't want to make this very busy. I know it's your day off today, and I don't want it to be too long so that in the end, I know you might want to do a nap or you might want to go and help Maz out with stuff because it's a day off today and it's a bank holiday in the UK. So I don't want to take a lot of really honor. But just if somebody out there that is this is not for me because as you said at the beginning you struggled a little bit with this fasting and you just kept on persisting. Is somebody out there who wants to do intermittent fasting and thinking, how do I start and things like that? Any advice you can
Okay,
give
you
them?
did break that. You did quite break down a bit, but I think I know what you roughly said. So if you don't understand like
Yeah.
your calories and things, how I normally start is there's an app actually called Lifesum. So if you put your weight, if you know your weight, and it
Mm,
just tells you what your calories, what you need. But at the same time, like I said, you don't have it. There's a bit where it says scan your food or how much. If that will get help you kickstart your journey, then that's fine. But once you get going, you will roughly
mm,
know what you're eating and the amount of calories. Because I know it can be a pain. I have to say, when weighing my food and but
mm.
like also if you also want like an accountability or fitness partner, I mean, there's listen to Claire's YouTube. If you want any help, advice, just I'm not a fitness person myself. I'm all in the same journey as we all are. So if you want any help or if I can help, just drop me a message. Um, But yeah, don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
Simple things as walking. Although I was intermittent fasting, I wasn't doing crazy exercise. A lot of it, I have to say, it was more to do just moving, like daily activities, like go. If you want to go to the shop, if it's only like a half an hour, it's doable. We can all take that half an hour walk, and then It
Hmm.
might be like, oh, I don't like this. Once you get going, you're like, okay, I can do this. Let's see how long I can do it. Like, so don't over, I think we overcomplicate fitness and what we should eat. It's not as complicated as we make it out to be. As long as you know, like, just look into your calories. And again, it doesn't have to be an unhealthy one. So if you got a big family do coming up, then maybe just save a bit more calories behind and be like, on that day, yeah, I can eat a bit more. I can enjoy.
Hmm.
But that's the what I would recommend. And again, for me, scale wasn't how I want to measure myself. As women, we all like go through period bloating,
Yeah.
like, so I would say first thing in the morning, like your knickers and bra. Take, if it's for yourself, just take a picture and then save it and go back a week's time or 2 weeks time and compare it.
Yeah.
Just to encourage yourself and be like, okay, I can't finally see. Or if there's a favorite jeans that you couldn't fit in, and you're like, okay, that's my goal to fit in. And that's how I
Yeah.
man like weighing as well. Um,
Here.
to not restrict your favorite foods. It again, if you want to eat something that you're really craving for, just be mindful again how much of it you're gonna eat. Just cut a piece and then yeah.
Sat down on my feet like I was, I was trying to kind of change my position. But as I was listening, that's really nicely broken down, isn't it? From like moving, how much movement do we make in a day? I usually say kind of as moving into more like white collar jobs and things like that. People blessing to have cars, but then let's not allow ourselves to kind of in a way become like, even if I want to go
Yeah.
basically walk, and when you're walking you're adding in those steps, and those steps do count. And you've mentioned things like, for example, weighing. I am not a big fan of weighing myself, as I've said that openly, because I feel for some people the scales encourage them, but also for some people that can be a really good way of establishing a wrong relationship with food, because you'll be like, oh, after 10 days I didn't lose any weight, and then you start to kind of restrict yourself. And when you're restricting yourself, think about the organs, think about those vital organs in your body that actually need those nutrients. And if you're restricting them, you can end up harming yourself rather than doing
Yeah.
so. So you've talked about, you can look for things like buddies, you can befriend people to do this journey together. I know a friend of mine
And
was saying they did a journey together. Journey really helped them with in terms of the weight. I'm waiting to see Ray. I think she's getting the door for somebody. And that has been something that has been really helpful and useful in the end to seeing people when they come to the journey of weight loss. Ray, why are you
no, just
smiling?
the mass just calling me. It's like she wanted a little job at the moment.
Go, I think yeah, because we finished. I can let you go so you can
Like,
just
lovely
wrap up and
meeting
then
you,
I'll catch up
talking,
with you later.
and
Then.
for
It's
inviting
a
me.
pleasure talking to you, Ray. I'll let you go. You're welcome. I'll catch up with you later. I'll give you a call so you can just leave and then
Love you too. Bye.
seen from the story of my dear friend Ray. There've been a little bit of issues, connection here and there, of cutting in and cutting out of internet connection, but that doesn't mean that you cannot find the whole story here. If you're out there and you're struggling and you're wondering where can you start from, I'm so encouraged when I think about Ray, how much she's been able to lose with us in her trousers, like looking at these pictures that she has shared. She showed me those pictures and I was like, amazing, Ray. I would love other people to hear your story. And so if you're thinking about your health journey and you're wondering where can I start from, until I get more money, until I'm able to do this. Do it messy. I've said this before. Do it afraid. Step into that. Don't let anything keep you back from the health journey, because you will look back tomorrow and regret why did you not start it. If Ray can be able to achieve such an only 2 weeks, how much can she be able to achieve in a month, in 2 months, in 5 months, etc.? And you know that you look back tomorrow, you look back next year, and you will regret and ask yourself, why did I not start? So why wait? What are you waiting for? What is that thing that is keeping you back? I've normally say I am a strong spend money to live a healthy life. You don't have to rob the bank. You don't have to even hit the gym. You can basically go walking. You can buy a rope and skip a rope. You can, I mean, there are very many different things that you can do in terms of exercises, as long as you're allowing yourself so that your energy expenditure is much more than the energy that you're putting in. And whether you like it or not, automatically that weight loss. And so it has been so up with my dear friend Ray that I just left at the moment. But then I want to bring this to an end and just kind of in a way calling on you. If you're out there and you're wondering, where can I start? Again, as I've said, start where you are, start small, do it afraid, do it messy, do it the way you want to do it, as long as you're making those baby steps, those needle moving steps that will bring you into you tomorrow and making tomorrow better than today. So, as usual, if this has been helpful to you, share this message. Why not spread it to others? They can be able to also see the benefits that you're finding from these recordings and from these live streams. And if you're not yet subscribed, why not consider clicking that subscribe button, clicking that like button, and that goes quite a long way in supporting what we do. It's been a great pleasure having some of you online. But we love you and you are much appreciated. Grace. And my prayer for you is that you will prosper and be in good health, even as your souls prosper. Until next time, this has been day 15 out of 30 of our intermittent fasting challenge. And I shall be back tomorrow with a different topic that I'll be discussing on day 16. Till then, I will be richly blessed and I shall see you again soon. Bye bye, everyone.